Okay. Well, I think we're just going to go with it. Okay, that's better. Okay. Welcome to the dressing room. Yay! As usual, I've got Emily over on Google Meet. So we're going to have like a live conversation, and then we're on YouTube Live as well. And hopefully you'll be able to hear everything okay, including Emily this time. We're having some audio issues, but we're just going to go with it. So, okay. But I'm getting feedback that is like way better. All I did was just go to Emily, try to say something.
Hello.
Okay, let me turn you up and see if that helps. Maybe because okay.
Hello.
Hopefully people on YouTube Live can hear you. At least a little bit. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to talk about what if you have a trip coming up? What if you have a trip planned and you have no idea what to pack? I'm going to take you through the actual process that I use when I am packing for a trip, especially if it's one of those trips that has like a bunch of different categories of things happening in the same trip. You know, it's not just like, okay, going for a spa weekend, easy, like only going to the spa, staying in the hotel, not leaving. You know, those are a little bit easier than maybe a trip where you have like kind of a combined work event and hangout time and all the things. So let's get into it. And Emily, I know you have a trip coming up, right?
I do. And it is a work event, it's an annual conference. And there are very specific dress codes, but during the day, I don't know what to wear. It's supposed to be business professional, one night as a cocktail party, and one night as black tie required. And
Perfect.
how to pack for that. So it is all neat and can be steamed easily, or I'm going to be packing blazers, fancy dresses, and a lot of shoe options too, on top of business clothes. So I didn't know where to start with packing.
Okay, perfect. This is perfect. So in my head, I came up with like this fake trip that I could use as an example, and it covers all of those bases. So what I'm going to walk you through right now can totally be used if maybe you're going like for a wedding weekend. Those always involve a lot of outfits. The event that you're going to, it's combined like professional with cocktail and black tie. That can be a lot. And yeah, let's just get into it because this is going to be really fun. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is you're going to just kind of map out your itinerary. And there might be some things that you don't know, but you're just going to start with all the things that you know you're doing, because then that's going to get us to the next stage of like, okay, what kind of clothes do you actually need? Okay. So grab like a journal, notebook, whatever. I did not make a worksheet for this because I don't think you really need it. I think it's kind of better to just have it be more free flowing. So let's see. I have all my colors. What color are we going to start with? Okay. Let's stick with the normal black. Oh, you've got your itinerary. Perfect. Okay, so I'm also hoping that you're going to be able to read this. I'm going to write as big as I can. And also, let's see, I have 4 days on my fake little trip I made up. So I'm just going to divide this into 4 just so I have space to show you everything. So day 1. Day 2. Emily, how well can you actually read that?
Not very well. It could be darker.
Oh, because it's so okay. Let's see. I do have
Day 2 and day 3 are good.
okay, so it might just be like lighting. Does it change when I
Mm,
no?
Yeah, I would bring it closer. Maybe a black, like a chalkboard would be better.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that looks better.
Is it better? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. So, okay, so I have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Here's the fake one that I made up for myself. Day 1 is going to be travel. That's usually what you're doing on day 1. So I'm going to put travel.
That's the most complicated one for me to figure out for some reason.
Okay. Yeah. And I think it's that way
Travel
for a lot of
clothes.
people. If you don't travel like a lot, then it's always like, well, what do I wear on the plane? Like,
Mhm.
yeah. And then, okay, so for day 2 on my made up trip that I'm doing, I'm going to go to a museum. And then in the evening, there is a cocktail party. Got a little messy there. Okay. But you get it. That says party. And then, okay, day 3 is going to be some kind of conference. So there's some professional elements in here in my little fake trip. And then that night for day 3, we have a black tie event. And then day 4, I get to spend some time at the pool or the spa, and then I travel home. Okay. So this is a pretty rough outline of what I have going on. So it's not mapped out minute by minute. You don't have to, get too nitty gritty here unless you want to. Of course, you can. But this is step 1. So step 1 is just like general vibes. What am I doing each day? And then that's going to lead us to step 2. And step 2, we're going to look at realistically how many times are we changing our clothes? So let's get a new color. Let's do blue because I think it's going to show up pretty well too. So this part, don't let it scare you, because at the end you're going to be like, what? I have to have how many outfits? But we're not going to think about that right now. All we're going to do is think about realistically how many times are you changing your clothes. So the first thing you're doing is traveling. So you're going to put on an outfit when you leave your house that morning, that day before you go to the airport. So I'm just going to put outfit travel. Now, once you get to where you're going, think about what you're realistically going to want to do or not do. If you have a really long travel day, you might already know all you want to do is get to the hotel and change into something comfy and stay in the room and order room service and just chill. Or maybe that plus go to the hot tub at the hotel. So, what are you doing once you actually arrive to the hotel? Are you going to want to change your clothes? And for me, if I'm going on a short trip, if it's like a super easy plane flight, hour and a half, and I'm there, I don't usually want to change my clothes when I get there. Like, I don't feel like I've been traveling all day. But if you've been traveling all day, when I go on longer trips and I have been traveling all day, the first thing I want to do is change my clothes. So just think about other trips you've gone on and other travel situations you've been in the past, and what have you wanted to do. So in this case, I put that I'm just going to chill in the room and order room service. So I'm definitely changing out of my travel clothes to do that. I don't want to like whatever I'm wearing for travel. I don't even know what I'm wearing for travel yet, but I know that whatever that is, even if it is super comfy, I'm not going to want to like, climb into the hotel bed and order room service in those same clothes. So we're changing again. So I'm going to put outfit. Chill in room. Cool. Now, you are also going to go to bed and then wake up the next morning. So we're really, really trying to think about really every single time you're going to change your clothes. And so that in the future, when we actually pack, we can know, do we have enough clothes for all the things? So we have another outfit. And that is pajamas or whatever you wear to bed. Maybe you sleep naked. Even then, maybe you're going to change your socks. I don't know. But write it down, because when you go to pack, you're going to come back to this and double check and make sure that you have everything you need for all the different elements. Like you see later, we're going to go to the pool. Like we don't want to get there and then realize, oh, I only brought sneakers and dressy shoes. I have no slides to actually go to the pool. Didn't even think about it.
So smart.
So yeah, we're really going to get into the details later, but right now we're just looking at those outfit changes so that we can get to those details. So I'm going to put on some PJs, go to bed. When I wake up in the morning on day 2, I know for myself, so I'm going to a museum first thing that day. But, it's not like museums don't open super, super early. Maybe I have, tickets in advance to see a certain thing at, let's say, 11 a.m. I know for me, I'm going to want to get up and I'm going to want to go down to the hotel lobby or a cafe nearby and get good coffee, because we all know the coffee in the actual hotel room always sucks. So that needs an outfit. If you're going to get up and then leave your hotel room, even if you're just going down to the lobby, maybe it's one of those hotels that serves breakfast in the morning. You're just going to go down there and like have breakfast. Let's say, you have a cute little nightie that you wore for your pajamas, or let's say you grabbed the t-shirt with the paint stains and the holes in it that you normally wear at home. You're just like, yeah, okay, I'm going to sleep. This is my sleep shirt. I'm going to sleep in this. And then you're like, oh, now I need to go down to the lobby and get coffee. Well, like, this literally has holes in it. So I'm going to have another outfit for this. So I have another outfit. I'm going to call this breakfast and coffee. And maybe at this point, I don't even know if I'm going to have the option to have breakfast and coffee in the hotel lobby, or if I'm going to have to like walk to the end of the block to the local cafe or whatever. Maybe I wake up that morning and I decide, actually, I'm just going to order room service because that's all I want to do. But realistically, I'm probably going to need some kind of thing to put on to go get food. Then after I eat and have my lovely coffee and hopefully a croissant, because maybe this is, Paris or something. Then I'm going to go to the museum. So again, changing my clothes, changing for that trip to the museum. So I'm going to be out and about in the city, whatever city it is. So I'm going to need some kind of outfit for that. I'm just going to put day/city.
And you're going to be walking a lot.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if it's not some, pre-booked, pre-planned excursion where they pick you, the bus picks you up at your hotel and they drive you everywhere you're going. Usually when you travel, you walk a lot. So when we get to what do we actually bring for all these things, we're also going to have to think about shoes, other accessories like bags. When I'm out and about in a city and doing kind of touristy things, I want a bag that can hold what I need to hold, but also is small enough that I don't feel like encumbered by it as I'm doing all my stuff. And I learned the hard way, never bring a backpack to a museum because they won't let you wear it. They'll make you check it. And I have this adorable little miniature backpack that I use as a purse. And so now I know if I'm going to a museum, I can't use that purse because they view it as a backpack, even though I just view it as a purse. So lots of things to think about. But right now, how many times a day are we changing realistically? So I come back from the museum. I have a cocktail party that night, but maybe there isn't anything else in that city that really interests me. So maybe I go to the museum, I see the exhibit I'm going to see, and I go back to the hotel. And that means I have time. So maybe I want to go to the pool. So we're going to put another pool outfit in here. We're going to go to the pool, we're going to hang out, and then we're going to get ready for the cocktail party. So here's our cocktail party outfit.
Do you usually have different pool outfits for each day?
It kind of depends how much I'm going to be at the pool. I do typically bring at least 2 swimsuits, just because if I go to the pool and actually get in the pool and get wet, which only happens if it's like actually really hot outside. But then I go back to my room, I change, and I go to dinner. And then after dinner, I want to go to the hot tub. That swimsuit from earlier is probably still wet. And that's like, no one wants to put on a wet swimsuit. It's just, that's not desirable. So I usually bring at least 2 swimsuits, even if it's a short trip, because I just don't want to be in that uncomfortable situation. Yeah. So getting ready for the cocktail party. The other thing that I want you to think about, like when you're getting ready for the cocktail party and when you're getting ready for this like black tie event, how do you like to normally get ready? Like, do you like to be wearing a robe while you do your makeup and your hair? Like things like that. And if you do, is it the kind of hotel that's going to give you a robe and already have one in your room? Or is that something you need to pack? So
good point. I always pack a robe.
Nice. And even if the hotel does, provide one, is it really going to be what you want to have on your body?
Silk robe, it's comfortable, and
yeah. And usually the ones at hotels are like the thicker French terry. So you have your cocktail outfit, and then I'm going to put plus robe here. Okay. So you go to your cocktail party, you look fantastic. You go back to your room, and guess what? You're changing your clothes again. Let's keep it simple. Let's say that you're just going to go to sleep, so you go, put your PJs back on. But if this is more of a professional, like work event, you go to the cocktail party because it's like you have to go to the cocktail party, and maybe it ends kind of, early-ish, and then you want to, meet up with some friends or some more close colleagues at the hotel bar. Maybe you go back up to your room, you change out of your cocktail attire and put on something else that might be, appropriate for the bar. But let's keep this simple. Let's do PJs again. But those are the kind of things that I want you to think about when you're making a list of, like, realistically how many quote unquote outfits you're going to need. Okay, day 3. Day 3, I put conference. So I'm thinking about this as something that is on the more professional side. So we're going to get those elements of having to, have more casual vacation-y things with going to the museum, and having more professional things with, attending a work conference. And let's say for this example, when we get to the conference in the morning, there's going to be coffee and there's going to be, things to eat. So for me, I don't feel like I need to, go do my breakfast and coffee adventure and then change into what I'm going to wear for the conference. I'm just going to change and, get out for the day. That might mean I have to deal with crappy coffee temporarily. So we have outfit, conference. Okay, so we have the conference, and then that evening we have the black tie event. I feel like usually if it's this kind of thing, there really isn't a lot of time between the conference and the black tie event. And if there is, like, you're just going to hang out in your room. You're not going to go to the pool again. You're not trying to go on another adventure. So we are back to changing, and we need that robe again as well. Cool. Okay. And then after the black tie event, you come back to your room and you go to sleep again. So we're back to PJs. But same situation after the black tie event, depending on how late it's going to go and the type of people that you're going to socialize with at the event, maybe you want to, continue the socialization, then give yourself an option. Okay, day 4 is just kind of an extended day. I'm going to spend time at the pool, and then, my flight doesn't leave until later on in the day. So since I'm going to go to the pool, I don't need to, like, wake up and rush to the pool. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go, get a nice breakfast. So I'm going to need that kind of just simple breakfast and coffee outfit again. And then after that, I'm going to need my pool outfit. So knowing me, I'm going to spend as much time at the pool as possible. And I am going to, be there for as long as I can until I have to just go back up to my room, put on my travel outfit, and hit the road. Okay. So, excuse me. So now we know how many, trying to get this to look as good as possible. Okay, cool. So now we know how many outfits we need. Do we want to count them? It's kind of scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're changing our clothes 14 times. Which sounds like a lot, because if you think about each one of those as individual outfits, you're like, how can I bring 14 outfits with me? You can't, and you won't. But this is how many things we need to be prepared for. So, next step, after you have what you're doing and how many times you're changing your outfits, now we're going to do something that we are all very, very familiar with. We're going to talk about our feelings. Surprise! Now you get to think about how you want to feel in every single one of these outfits. Every single time you change your clothes from one thing to the next thing, how do you want to feel for that next thing that you're doing? So it starts with travel. How do we want to feel when we travel?
Comfortable and put together.
Love that. Comfortable, put together. I like to feel polished.
Yes. Oh, that's a great word. Polished.
And comfortable, definitely. Like comfort is like there's no negotiating that. Like has to be comfortable. And I like to feel polished just because I don't want to feel like I'm about to crawl into bed. Definitely want to be comfortable, but I also want to feel like I am a put together person in the world.
An adult.
Yes, an adult. Exactly. Not saying you can't wear sweatpants. You can. This isn't like excluding any specific category of clothing. But once you know how you feel, you are going to be able to hone in on exactly what kind of sweatpants you want to wear. Because sweatpants are definitely okay. Okay. Then we get there and our outfit is chill in the room. So when we chill in the room, I want to feel cozy. How do you want to feel, Emily?
Relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Easygoing.
Relaxed, easygoing.
Usually it's just like a quick dress that I can throw over my head that is not necessarily appropriate to go outside with unless you're wearing a bathing suit underneath, but it's just comfortable and it's just easygoing.
Perfect. I love that example because, and in case you couldn't hear on YouTube Live, Emily said that what she likes to wear is just like a simple dress that she can throw on that wouldn't necessarily be appropriate for going outside. So I love that example because, you know, you're not going to throw on that dress to go to breakfast and coffee the next day. That's the perfect example of that, you know. But for me, like I think, you know, leggings and a t-shirt or maybe, you know, a hoodie also if it's, you know, cold weather. But a trip like this, you're probably doing it in, you know, sun. If you're by the pool multiple times, it's not cold. So next is PJs. So probably for me, honestly, I'm just going to wear those same like leggings and t-shirt to bed. I'm not going to actually change anything probably, you know. But pajamas, like I want to feel, yeah, very comfortable. Yeah. I don't know. There's not really anything else that I want to feel in my pajamas other than comfortable. Sleepy. I want to feel sleepy.
Comfortable and free.
Yeah, free. Okay, I'm going to write down free. I like that. That's a good one. So when we wake up the next morning and we're going to go grab like some breakfast and coffee, how do we want to feel then?
Refreshed.
Refreshed. I like that. That's a really good word. I want to feel maybe polished, the word that I used for travel. Maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
like too much. Like I don't feel like I don't need to feel polished. But I want to feel,
Put together.
yeah, put together. Yeah,
That's not the
that's
right
a
word
better
though.
one.
There's another word that I'm thinking of. It'll come to me.
Chic. But even that's too much for like breakfast and coffee. I just don't want to feel like a slob, but I still want to be comfortable. Comfortable is like for me, comfortable is just kind of the non-negotiable, always 24/7. So that's going to come up for me in every single one of these categories. Now, going to the museum and like being out and about in a city for a day, um, this gets a little bit more into how I like to dress on kind of a day-to-day basis when I'm actually going out and doing things in my real life, especially if I'm going and doing like more adventurous type things. For me, I want to feel creative and I want to feel like like I exude that I'm in some sort of creative profession. I think my pink hair automatically does that anyway, so that's always a part of me. So that helps any outfit feel like that. Um, but yeah, for going to a museum, I want to feel creative.
I feel like that's when you can kind of challenge your wardrobe a little bit and wear something that you might not if you're in a different city that you don't know anybody.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. That's where you can
Yeah.
experiment and have fun.
And how you want to feel might change depending on what city you're going to. And what makes you feel that way might be different depending on the city. If it is going to a museum in Paris compared to going to a museum in Dallas, I probably am going to dress very differently for those two different places. And I think that's something that people don't always realize, that they can dress differently in different cities. Um, and I think people don't always realize that they want to dress differently in different cities. Like the vibe of the city affects the way that they want to dress. So if this is a real trip for you and you really are going to a museum, you know what museum, you know what exhibit. Um, so that's going to kind of shift how you want to feel when you go to that. Maybe you're seeing an exhibit that's like really intense. Um, it's not the Murakami exhibit that's like fun and bright colors and poppy and like all this. So maybe if you're going to see a brightly colored fun exhibit, you might want to match that vibe. If you're going to see, something really intense, um, maybe it's just black and white portrait photography. That's very different than a poppy fun exhibit. So you might not want to be like in bright, vibrant colors in an entire room with black and white photography. It might feel like you're not able to absorb the art as much as you would want to because you're just in a different vibe. So think about all those things. Write down a few words about how you want to feel. Now we get to the pool. Okay, I think pool is really interesting because honestly, I think a lot of people, when they think about going to a pool, they think about putting on a swimsuit, and then we get into all of the body image things of like, I want to feel like I look skinny, but I'm not skinny, or all of those kinds of things. So really try to, when you're trying to figure out how you want to feel at the pool, try to think of some words that can really help you tap into um, not how you don't want to feel, but how you really do want to feel.
I like really sleek cover ups. So even if it's like a long cover up that you tie around and like tie like in the front and tie in the back,
Mm-hmm.
that's like kind of like semi sheer, then you're going to feel good either way. You're going to get the sun exposure if you're not feeling it. I mean, there's other ways, or in winter there's like fleece dresses that you can just like pull over your head with pockets, and you wear
Yeah.
your slides and like you're comfortable, whether you dip your toe in the water or not. That's what I like.
Yeah, I love that too. Like, even if you know the water's too cold, I'm not going to get in. A lot of times I will still wear my swimsuit under whatever, I'm covering myself with for warmth, um, because it makes me feel like it makes me feel the way I want to feel because I'm next to a pool. Even if I know I'm not getting in that pool and I'm not actually going to get wet, I still want to be wearing a swimsuit underneath whatever I'm wearing. So I loved that word sleek. I'm taking that. We're putting sleek. I think sleek is a really great word for that kind of like environment because it can refer to a lot of different things. It can mean different things to different people. Um, and that's, yeah, that's great. And the other thing that it came up for me when thinking about how I want to feel at a pool, I'm thinking of like a lot of sunshine. I also want to feel protected, so maybe for me that means I'm going to, bring a wide brimmed hat or something because I want to be out there for as long as possible and I don't want to get burned. Okay, sleek, protected, comfortable again. Okay. And then we are changing into our cocktail party outfit. And we have that robe that we're going to be wearing while we do our changing. So, getting into the actual events, the cocktail party and the black tie event. This is really where you can get deep with how do you want to feel at these types of events. If it's a more professional event, like I feel like what I've kind of mapped out is a more professional vibe because we have this like conference thing going on. So it's a cocktail party. I want to feel fun. I want to feel dressy. But maybe I don't want to, wear something that feels too sexy. Maybe I do still want it to feel a little bit more professional. Or on the other hand, if you're planning out this type of thing for like a wedding weekend, maybe this, cocktail party or, rehearsal dinner, rehearsal party, whatever this is, maybe you do want to feel sexy. Maybe this whole event that you're going to is in Vegas, sequins, like I want to feel like a disco ball. That's completely acceptable. So this is where you can really, really, really drill down into how you want to feel. And these types of things in a trip like this, the cocktail party and the black tie, probably the whole reason you're going on this trip is because of those events, and everything else just kind of works around it. So if you feel your absolute best at those like anchoring events, then overall you're going to have a fantastic time. If you're dreading putting on your cocktail dress because you just pulled something out of your closet last minute and actually like it doesn't really feel comfortable anymore, maybe it's too tight, maybe it's too loose. You didn't really think about it ahead of time, you just grabbed what works. Then everything else that you're doing on that entire trip, you're just going to not feel as good as you could feel about everything because you're like dreading having to wear this. You're not excited about it. So let's get really, really excited about the outfits that we have for those anchoring events within our itinerary. So, Emily, for the trip that you have coming up, How do you want to feel for your cocktail party?
Gosh, the cocktail party, I feel like I have a couple dresses that I can pull back from. So just like elegant, fun, sexy, because of the industry that I work in.
Yes.
However, shoes are an issue and what type of shoes to pack. And then I'm thinking a big clutch for the cocktail party, but I don't know the vibe. I mean, I can't wear a huge purse. It should be something small and condensed, if anything at all, really. But that's where I'm at. Where I get confused is shoe selection and purse selection, the accessories part.
Yeah, yeah. And the accessories are definitely difficult, and they do have such a huge effect on how you feel. If you want to feel elegant, fun, and sexy, and then you're like grabbing your basic day-to-day, purse that you your tote bag, you're not fun. You're not having fun. And then yes, the a clutch is, kind of standard for that type of outfit. But what I really like to think about when I'm thinking about like clutches is, first of all, does it fit my phone? That's like,
Yes,
oh my gosh.
totally. Number one.
So if you're buying something online, definitely always look at the measurements first. Get out a measuring tape and measure your phone with the case on it. Because the phone itself, you can like Google what's the size of an iPhone, whatever. But with the case on it, it's always a little bit bigger. And that can make like just there's this smidge of a difference. And your whole plan is ruined. And then in addition to that, let's say it's a nice little, clutch, fits the phone, fits the whatever else you need. I don't want to carry that all night. I'm not feeling fun if I'm like actually carrying a clutch. So for me, it's got to have a strap. It has to have, the little strap that can go inside. That's fine. Because then you can put it inside and then have your clutch, next to you.
Point.
When you don't need the strap. But for me, a strap is critical. And shoes. Because
typically for like hotel conferences or cocktail parties, they're on carpet.
Yeah.
And you can get stuck really easily in heels instead of like a flat floor.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And because for me, comfort is a through line for every single thing that I wear. I don't wear a lot of heels because they're not comfortable. So even if it looks incredible with the outfit, I am not going to sacrifice my comfort. I want to feel fun. I don't feel sexy if I'm like, oh, my feet, like, you know how your whole entire body changes when your feet hurt from being in heels? That's not sexy. That's not elegant. And you're definitely not having fun. So I'm always going to opt for a more comfortable shoe. I personally, this doesn't work with everyone's style. This does not work with everyone's vibe. But I have definitely been known to wear my Doc Martens with cocktail dresses. And that works for me. And that's fun. I also do have a couple pairs of more like blocky heels that are lower. So those I feel like if, I need a more elegant shoe to go with whatever dress I'm wearing, it serves that purpose. And it's also like, it's not going to kill my feet after just a few hours.
How do you feel about the trend with a kitten heel that has like the overlapped boot where it's almost like the boot is inside out, kind of covering a kitten heel? That it's like wider in the calf area?
Oh, yeah. I feel like that is a really, really difficult proportion to play with. I mean, if you like it, wear it. Like, I don't care about trends, you know? Like, wear what you like. And don't wear it just because it's trendy. um, but I think that comes down to like trying it on and seeing how you actually feel when you wear it. I feel like I would feel really weird. Like, I feel like I would feel like I was looking like I was like trudging through mud. I feel like it would I wouldn't like it on me.
Mhm.
But try it. Go to like
I
a real
ordered a few
Oh,
just
okay,
to
good.
see, and then I can return them. So,
Good.
and then also the travel outfit when you are traveling with other um, people within your business. I just don't know what to wear for travel. I don't know what to wear on travel days, so I typically bring it up to the level of what I wear at work because it's easy and it's comfortable. And I'm in boots, I'm
Right.
not in heels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's totally acceptable. You know, I don't think you have to dress differently on travel days just because you're traveling.
That's fair. I just want to know, or what I think would be easier or a little bit more refined and put together, but could be a little bit more comfortable too. I mean, my work clothes are comfortable, but it's the
Yeah.
same thing every time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I want to change it up a little bit, but I don't know how to match sets, for instance. I don't know how to do that or
Mhm.
what looks good and what's appropriate, age appropriate, basically.
I have this oversized blazer that I wear traveling a lot, because it works really well for travel. It's oversized in a way that it's very comfortable. That's never like restricting or anything.
Mhm.
And then that also like lets me wear it for other things as well during the trip. So, like, um, in round two, we're going to look at how to strategize this in a way that you're not literally bringing 14 outfits because you can't bring 14 outfits. So, once you figure out how you want to feel and then start to pull pieces that feel that way, then we're going to get into like the strategy of, okay, you wear this on the plane. That also means you don't have to pack it in your bag. And then it lets you wear it for these other things as well.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. In the very first episode of the dressing room, I was playing around with hoodies, but one of the outfits that I put together was an outfit that I do wear pretty often when I travel because it gives me all these things. It's comfortable and I feel polished and put together and everything. And it is an oversized blazer and Ponte pants. So they're stretchy, but they look like trousers. So it's kind of that, it's that polished, comfortable mix. And then if it's cold, I have a hoodie, which is how it came up in the first episode of the dressing room. I have a hoodie that fits underneath the blazer. So then it's kind of gives me that like relaxed, kind of cool. And I always wear it with my Adidas because, you know, traveling, you're walking around an airport for sure. So it has kind of that balance of like polished with the blazer and then comfy, kind of cool girl vibes with the hoodie and the sneakers. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And then I have a hat that goes really well with it. So again, if I'm gonna want the hat for other outfits, a hat is really hard to pack in a suitcase. But if you're wearing it on the plane, then you know throw it up in the overhead because you probably don't want to wear it when you're on the actual flight. But then you have it with you. So, okay, so now we know how we want to feel for the cocktail party. We want to be elegant, we want to be fun, and we want to be sexy. And maybe we want to feel like a disco ball. Depends on the event. And then we're back to PJs, which we already defined. For the conference. So we're in the conference, especially if this is a professional conference. Maybe you're even presenting at this conference. Maybe like that's actually why you're going. Maybe you're a speaker. Maybe you're leading a workshop. Maybe this is a very professional thing for you. So I would want to feel professional, but professional can mean a lot of things. So one of the words that comes up for me a lot is knowledgeable. I want to feel knowledgeable. And it's kind of an abstract word, but for me it works because I just know when I put on an outfit, like, oh, do I feel knowledgeable or do I feel inexperienced? And that's going to change based on the event that you're attending. So knowledgeable, polished could come up here again too. But also maybe, for me, let's say I was going to a conference and I was leading a workshop. I would also want to feel creative because that's part of my profession. And if I feel creative, I'm also going to feel knowledgeable. What kinds of things are you doing during the day for your the professional parts?
So it's attending a couple of point speaker meetings, and then we break out into teams with the clinical staff and then the operational staff and team members that are provided. And it's very generalized, so I'm not quite sure, but knowledgeable is one thing. That's a great word that I want to feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's together, but I also don't need to look like a Barbie doll, and that I'm realistic and I've got boots on the ground and literally wear my boots.
Yes.
Versus heels and a cute little outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. Because in your industry, you're the person who is running the thing. And so a lot of these people that you're going to be at the conference with are the people who are performing the services and that kind of stuff. So that makes sense that you want to stand apart and kind of, automatically convey with the way that you dress that you are a behind the scenes person and not behind the scenes in like a, I don't do anything type of way, behind the scenes in terms of like everyone else gets to continue doing what they do best because you're doing what you do best.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking like my boots with like contoured leggings, maybe a nice shirt and a blazer over with rolled up sleeves that have like lining in them.
Yes.
That are a little bit different. So they're like either like white with blue stripes or white with black stripes, but it's like I'm rolling up my sleeves and my boots are on the ground. Intention.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that, if you have a jacket with a fun lining inside, that also gives just like a little bit of interest. If you can be in all black, but if that, because I know you will be, that little pop, that you're going to show off, you get to show off like a little bit of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's great. Okay, so from the conference, we are going back to our room and we're going to put on our nice silk robe again, and we're going to get into our evening look, our black tie event look. Mm-hmm. So same thing with the cocktail party, like really, really let yourself think about how exactly do you want to feel when you walk into that room, and get all the words out first.
Confident, comfortable, a little sexy. Mm-hmm. And gorgeous.
Oh, I love that. Gorgeous. I feel like that mix of words applies to so many people. Like that combo is how I want to feel a lot of times when I'm going into these types of events. And wanting to feel that way, you can want to feel this exact same way for a professional black tie event. You can want to feel that exact same way for your best friend's wedding. You can want to feel the exact same way for, I don't know, so many other things, a charity event. And what you actually choose to wear could be completely different, because what's going to make you feel that way in one room is not going to make you feel the same way in another room. Especially when it comes to sexy. Sexy in a professional black tie room is very different than feeling sexy at your best friend's wedding, where you're not a bridesmaid, so your dress is not predetermined. So even the feeling of feeling sexy is going to equate to completely different things in different different situations. So we have a lot of the same words showing up all over, and then as you actually start trying on clothes and deciding what you want to be wearing, you're going to think about those words in the context of walking into that particular room, or walking into that particular city, and then walking into that particular museum for that particular exhibit. Because I have creative in like the conference environment, as like we're pretending I'm leading a workshop at a conference, and then I also have creative at the museum. The same outfit would not work for both, because when I'm going to the museum, maybe I also want to feel kind of like cool and relaxed. But if I'm leading this conference, I want to feel creative and polished and knowledgeable. So it kind of shifts. And you'll know as soon as you start trying on your clothes. So black tie event, going to sleep. When we wake up in the morning, we're going to breakfast again. So we have same vibes, refreshed, put together. You're just kind of going out, a little breakfast, good coffee. And then we're going to the pool again, which we know how we want to feel at the pool that day. But maybe this day you want to feel a little bit different than you did here. Like day 2, you just kind of went to the pool for a little bit just to chill. Maybe you literally just walked down there to read a chapter of your book. I'm planning on being here for a very long time. So, I might want to bring more things with me. Protected is going to definitely be, a consistent thing. Definitely going to need a hat, a swimsuit cover up. Going to need my slides, going to need a bag that can hold all the stuff, my journal, all my colored pens, whatever book I'm reading. I'm going to need my AirPod. Like, I'm going to want to feel like I'm there to stay. I'm going to want to feel like I do not have a plane to get on later. That's how I'm going to want to feel. Like I have no plans. And then we're back to traveling again. So same kind of feelings here. Although maybe for you in different situations, maybe that shifts. You mentioned that traveling there, you're for sure traveling with your colleagues. Maybe the way back, maybe you extended your trip a little bit so you could spend more time at the pool. Maybe your colleagues are like flying out that morning and you're not traveling back with them. So if your vibe is going to change for your travel home outfit, then think about how you want to feel then too. If it's the same, it's the same.
I just want to know what I can wear as relaxed travel and what is decent and looks good, in like a matching sweat like set, or I want to change it up. I've been traveling in the same kind of black on black uniform, professionalism, even when I'm going on vacations to
Yeah.
meet people before I get there, because it just makes me feel like I'm comfortable, but I'm also dressed up at the same time. So I have no clue where to start with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do think there's so many options out there right now for like matching sweatsuit kind of things. Um, I would give those a shot, but stay away from the actual like sweatshirt material, if that makes sense. So I love a matching set because I feel like monochromatic like automatically makes you look polished. Um, you could try, you should try an olive or an army green. That's what you need. You that you feel great in that color and it's not black.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay,
So don't
challenge accepted.
Yes. Yeah. And that's plenty of a challenge. Don't try to be like, oh, maybe blue, like the blue sweatshirt you're wearing right now, that color looks cute. But I can't imagine you wearing that color head to toe and feeling like you actually want to walk out of the house.
It's my Colorado workout shirt.
Yeah. So if you're going to try to, push yourself into new colorways, do it in a way that is reliable. Don't just push yourself to buy burgundy because you're like, I think that might be on trend. Let's just try. You're not going to feel good.
No, thank you. I didn't consider it this morning, and then I was like, wait, I have to wait until I talk to Kelsey. Thank you.
I've heard really good things about the brand Quince.
Oh yeah.
I haven't actually bought anything yet, so I can't like actually speak for it. But I've heard good things. So
okay.
Yeah, give it a try. Yeah. I'm guessing that they're going to have that kind of vibe. Because I have been on their website a couple times, so I've kind of seen like a little bit of what they have. And they're not like bright colors, prints, like that kind of thing. They're very all their colors are very wearable. They're very neutral. Even the shapes are very just simple, nothing crazy, nothing too trendy.
I'll check them out. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the next step is you're on a little bit of a time crunch because you're like actually leaving very soon.
4 days.
4 days. Yeah. So you're, a little bit. Yeah. Little
I'll report back with the pros and cons. I am getting some stuff shipped here, so we'll see.
Good. Yeah. Well, next week we're going to do part 2. And in part 2, I am going to, throughout this week, I'm going to do what I normally would do if I had this trip coming up. And what I would do next after knowing all of these things is I would literally like throughout my day, as I'm just doing things, when I'm getting dressed in the morning, when I'm doing laundry is a big one. Because usually also I'm doing laundry before going on a trip like this. It's like, oh, wait, my favorite sweatshirt, I better make sure that's clean, stuff like that. So whenever I'm interacting with my clothes at all, if I come across a piece that I know fits into how I want to feel on one of these things, I put it aside. So in your closet, you can have a section that's for that trip. And it's like, okay, I know I want to bring this.
Great point. And I'm looking up Quince too.
Good.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm going to do over the next week. I'm going to pretend like I'm actually going on this trip. I'm not going to buy anything new because I'm not actually going on this trip, but specifically for the black tie and the cocktail, you know, maybe you find that you don't have anything in your closet. That's totally fine. Also look on Rent the Runway. You know, you can always rent something. Love Rent the Runway. I would,
That's great.
if this was a real trip I was going on, actually, I would rent everything. Probably, mostly,
Yeah.
you know, pants are hard. As you've seen in the dressing room, pants are a difficult fit. So maybe I wouldn't rent pants. I would, you know, rely on the jeans I already have, you know, rely on my basics. But I would immediately go on Rent the Runway and start finding key pieces for each of these things. And maybe if, you know, I feel like if you don't have a pool and or a hot tub at your house or at your apartment, you don't have a lot of swimsuits. So maybe you feel like, number one, I want a new swimsuit. I want a swimsuit with hot pink flowers on it. And that is what's going to make me feel sleek when I go down to the pool. And I want a new swimsuit cover up. So if you know that you're going to need to shop for things, start shopping for things with these feelings in mind. And then next week, we're going to do the actual try on. So that's where we are going to play around, try on different outfits, play with things, and actually define what's going in our suitcase next week.
Love it.
So there you go. Now you're prepared.
Thank you. I needed you in my life.
You're welcome. Well, I hope you all have a bunch of fun trips coming up. And thank you for joining the dressing room. I'll see you next week for the second episode of What Do You Pack? Have a fabulous week.
Thank you, guys.
Wear what you want. Okay.